Emergency Podcast Broadcast. Station exx47 operating at a frequency of 162.40 megahertz. Programming originates from Brandon's Garage in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You're listening to exx47 Radio.
Hello. Howdy. This looks a little more centered on the GoPro, I think. It's not bad. Instead of just one screen of Subway Surfers to distract you all into listening, I have two. Girlfriend's already calling me. Already interrupting. Hey, babe.
Hey, sweetie.
Of course she calls as soon as I start the pod. Doesn't she know I'm busy? Anyways, where was I? I think I was just discussing... I think just the setup. Got everything going. Got Kirby Air Ride playing. You know, the new ones came out. I'm not entirely sure if it's a remake or a remaster of this one or if it's a new game. I think it's a new game. But fun fact, I actually got this copy for free. And you may be like, Brandon, how'd you get it for free? It wasn't an act of generosity. It wasn't from a friend. It wasn't a gift. At the same time, I didn't swindle anybody. I bought the game on Macari, I believe. And I bought it. And I think I bought it with them knowing it wasn't tested or something. I forget the specifics. But anyways, I buy it. I plug it in. It doesn't work. Like, it'll spin up and then goes error. And so I go, damn, dog. What do you want me to do? And the person, they said, no problem, I'll give you a refund. But they were insinuating they wanted the game back. And I don't know what they hit in the settings, but they refunded me, but they just instantly gave me all my money back. And it didn't prompt me or ask for me to send it back. And you may be like, Brandon, damn, scummy thing to do. I say nay. Because if you know Macari, you know that you need them to give you a printing label to even send it back. So I really had no way to even send this back unless I had to go against their TOS and try to get their information from them just in chat to send it back at my own expense. I'm not doing that. They didn't even press super hard. They were just like, are you going to send it? And then I never heard from them. So I think they knew they fucked up. So, but hang on. You may be saying, Brandon, how is it running now? How'd you get a free copy? This may be different now, but at the time when I was calling around, there was one vintage stock in the whole fucking Tri-County area that had a disc cleaning machine, or a resurfacer, I should say. And long story short, it wasn't very far either, thankfully. So long story short, I took it up there, paid the man $5 or whatever, and they put it in their machine and they resurfaced it. And I haven't actually played this game. I've played it for 5 minutes. I played it after that just to test it out, and it made it way much further. I mean, it wouldn't even hardly boot up before, and then it actually played a game. So I was like, I guess it works. Need to give it a try, though. Heard it's a great game. Looks like a fun time. I'll probably leave it out and see if Jenny doesn't want to play, you know. Anyways, also got Ratatouille the game up, playing, you know, nice little background. Subway Surfers, attention span. Yeah, something to look at. I had fun. Ratatouille, Juan, if you're listening, let me break it down a little bit. I stopped playing Ratatouille for those that didn't know, or those who didn't pay attention. I might pick it back up. I didn't have a bad time playing it, but it was kind of a little bit too juvenile of a game for me to justify being 3 episodes in and not getting very far and not getting very intense mechanics yet. So I don't think the game was going to get very challenging or like ramp up anytime soon because it's fucking Ratatouille, the game. Granted, I love Ratatouille. It's probably my favorite movie. Like kids, Pixar movies probably. Or it's up there. Yeah, I just got kind of burnt out, because it wasn't even like I didn't like it. It just got to the point where I was like, oh, I got to film this again. And I wasn't excited. And that's what I'm about. I'm all about that excitement, dog. I also don't know if I touched on it on last podcast, but I know I finished SpongeBob, the game, the movie, whatever you want to call it. That was a fun time. Had a blast. Had a hoot and a half. It did relatively good numbers-wise, but the finale just kind of fell apart. I don't know what happened. Nobody tuned into the finale. Nobody wanted to see how the exciting climax to SpongeBob's story in the movie ended. And it was really funny when I finished the game. There was some cutscenes, and they all looked terrible. Like, you can tell they put all their money into this game right when they started it, or like they really just put it into the game itself and not any of the cutscenes. I don't know why they couldn't just use stills from the movie, because they didn't even do that. It's not terrible, but it definitely kind of took me out. And they also had some weird kind of like voice animations and sound effects. Could have been worse. Anyways, what else do I got going on? Let me check my list. I like to keep a list. Not that list. But I'm keeping it pushing. No John today. Obviously. Anyways, no John. Dear John. Isn't that a movie? Is that like a movie where the soldier dies or something? I know that's like a really sad chick flick movie, I think. Speaking of which, John, he got called back to service, and he re-enlisted, and he is serving his 3rd tour. He actually helped the boys out in Venezuela. That's what John's been up to. He's been running special ops. He was actually part of the team that helped capture the Venezuelan president. All that went really well up until he came back. And when he went to get his medal from Trump, for some reason, John thought it would be like a chocolate medal, like a chocolate coin type thing. And he was very disappointed and verbally upset. He's kind of had his gripes with his politics and the president recently. He was willing to overlook that, though, to accept his medal because he wanted the chocolate. And when he found out that there was no chocolate, he lost his mind. He acted very violently, to say the least. I can't really get into it too much because it's still under investigation by the federal government. So that's definitely something to keep in our thoughts and prayers, is John, as he goes through this. Last I heard, he might be going to Guantanamo Bay. And that's at a best. It's honestly safer than Oklahoma State Prison. So that is something to be grateful for. So if we could get a nice hashtag pray for John going or something like that, I'd really appreciate it. I know Juan will say a prayer for John. So thank you for that. I'm gonna clip that and send it to him. Be like, what the fuck, dude? So I don't come on your fucking podcast, Brandon. My podcast, John. That's why I didn't name it some dumb shit that you wanted, because I knew you wouldn't even fucking be here. Anyways, speaking of which, let me sip my drink. Sponsored by Alani, by the way. Damn, voice cracking already. What was I just talking about? That Alani wiped my brain. Where am I? Nah, but for real, let me check my list. Quit riffing, Brandon. Get back, Hawktua, get back to it, dude. We need the updates. Oh yeah, no, John. Gonna try to have a guest soon though. If not next month, month after, sometime this year. You will see some new faces this year, I guarantee. Had somebody hit me up from the comedy club saying they want to film some skits. Hell yeah, I'm always down. That would be fun. Speaking of which, how do I dive into this? I'll just start here. Speaking of the comedy club, had the comedy club on Tuesday. If y'all want to know, it is currently Thursday, February 26th. And you may be saying, Brandon, filming again, such last minute? I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. And you may be saying, Brandon, filming again, such last minute? I know. I apologize. What had happened was this last Monday, it's February, funky month to begin with, just in terms of how it's even laid out. So it's Monday. I wake up, I'm doing my productive thing, I'm getting what I need to done. I'm doing my thing. I'm figuring out how to bootleg a new game, which I will get into in a minute. I filmed that, which I'll get into in a minute. And then I filmed my Friday video. I won't spoil it, but I filmed my Friday video. It wasn't this podcast. Even though I like to upload the last Friday of the month for the podcast. If y'all haven't caught on yet. But anyways, my girlfriend gets home from work and she's like, "Don't you have the comedy club tomorrow?" And I was like, "No, that's next week." And she was like, "There is no next week for the month." And I was like, "Oh, fuck. Damn." Not like, "Oh, fuck, damn." But I did have to think about comedy because I thought I had a week. I was going to Hawktua soon. I hadn't finalized my material, is what I'm trying to say. And not only that, I thought I had my upload schedule all flip-flopped. So I have a video, in the burner right now. So, yeah. Don't know why I felt the need to tell you that, but I've been very discombobulated lately. But you may be wondering, Brandon, you mentioned a new game. You said you're done with Ratatouille. What's going on? I might have already said this. I got Dead Rising, and I've been playing Dead Rising. I just started Dead Rising, the first one. There was a remaster that I almost got, but I thought I've hardly played the first one as it is. I'll just get the OG version. And I did get it on Steam, and I've been playing it on Steam. But I was trying to get an emulator to work for a different game, which I still really want to play. I was trying to get Prison Break, the game, to work for an Xbox 360 emulator. And that was not only not happening. After about 2 hours of work, I looked it up, and that game just doesn't work on the emulator. And then I was like, fuck. And then I looked up another game, and then I looked up a handful of games, one of them being Dead Rising. None of them worked on the emulator. So I was kind of left in a sticky situation. I had like half an emulator that worked. The older in generations you get, the harder it is to emulate games. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a scholar. Disclaimer. So, and I'm not a big computer guy, as shocking as that may sound. But anyways, no, I don't think I didn't not figure it out, but Google and Reddit and AI was telling me that these games just don't work at all. So I was like, okay, damn. So I needed a new way to play them. I tried hooking up my computer to my computer to my TV to try to stream the game that way, but that wouldn't work, so I just bought it on Steam. It wasn't much. It was like $10. I did buy the $15 triple pack. They called it like the triple pack, and it came with 1, 2, and what I thought was 3. And then I download it, and it says, you got 1, 2, and 2's DLC. Not a bad deal, but I was like, damn, feel like I got swindled a little bit. I don't know why you'd call it the triple pack. I don't know. That was my bad. I just wasn't paying attention. Fair enough. Shame on Brandon. What else is going on? Enough of the gaming talk, dude. Not everybody's a fucking neckbeard like yourself, you know. So, hang on. Man, I wrote some corny shit at first. I'm not doing that. Comedy went good. Yeah, comedy went good on Tuesday. It went fine. I got my little stuff together, and I got some good laughs. You know, it was the never-ending open mic again, and I get congested after I start talking for a prolonged period of time. I've never realized that before because I've never talked for a prolonged period of time. Crazy. Anyways, comedy club went good. Quite a few people there. After I went, we stayed till like comic 20, 25, and there were 60 people, and it was already 8:30. So we ended up leaving because we were like, I'm not trying to be here till 10 o'clock. I normally like to stay. Jenny wanted to leave. She had a long day at work, fair enough. But I had a good time. Somebody said they liked my joke. Followed them on Instagram, and they said, hey, we should film something. So who knows? Maybe they'll be on the podcast. Maybe we'll have a funny ha-ha hee-hee coming your way. Let me see what came after the podcast. Yeah, also, big disclaimer. Or not big disclaimer. Big news. Not big news. Whatever. I didn't end up taking that job I was talking about last month. Now, there were a few different factors. I don't know how much I got into it last time, but let's just say the first day I went was for, like orientation or whatever. Fill out your name, meet everybody, whatever. And so I go and do that, and then afterwards, they're like, is everybody down to stick around for a few hours? We got to clean this kitchen. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm down, but I'm wearing like nice clothes. I'm there to meet people. I'm not there to clean a kitchen. So I have like my fluffy, button up plaid shirt and jeans and like Converse on. And I'm over here scrubbing this random kitchen in the heart of downtown. With these fucking random people. And bro, I don't know why every kitchen is such a shithole. It really sucks. Like every kitchen I go into, it feels like it's 100 years old. I don't know what it is. The kitchen I work out now isn't bad. And I think what really contributes to it, which is insane, is that the kitchen I work at now is like one of the cleaner ones, and we don't have a deep fryer. I think that plays majorly into whether your kitchen is covered in gunk. And I mean like everywhere, from the ceilings to the fucking tiles on the floor. If you have a fryer, your kitchen and establishment is like a different level of dirty. Because like we got to clean our kitchen out, but it doesn't get the same level of dirty. It's really astonishing. Not to mention the hood vents just like never get dirty. It's crazy. But anyways, so I'm over here scrubbing this kitchen for a good 2-3 hours. And, it is what it is. I'm no stranger to some hard work and grit and elbow grease. Sign me up. I was just bitching. It's kind of like on a hot day, and if you're dressed up nice, or just like whatever. If it's different if you're like going to work out and get all sweaty, but if you're like not expecting to get all gross and sweaty and you get sweaty, you're just kind of like, ugh. You're like not upset, but you just don't feel good. You're not expecting it. You weren't expecting it. Anyways, so after I'm doing this, we're getting out of there, wrapping up and everything. And then I'm talking to the man in charge, the guy from my old job. Again, I don't know what I talked about too much last month, but I had known this guy previously from a past job. And so I'm talking to him, and he's like, or somebody brings up pay, and they go, yeah, everybody's getting $15 an hour. And I'm like, I'm assuming they're talking about everybody but me, because I'm a sous chef, you know? And then I'm talking to a guy, and he's like, no, you're 15 an hour too. We're just going to bring everybody on and then just kind of see who will fill that position the best. And I'm like, that is not what I was told at all. And not only that, I was told I'd be like way more than 15 an hour. Almost like basically double that. And I tell him that, and he's like, oh, interesting. And I'm like, indeed. Very. And so we go back and forth for a second. It's not like tense or anything. We're just talking. And then he says, "Okay, I'll get back to you. I'll double check some things." But to my knowledge, that's what I was told. And so I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so next day, he calls me and he's like, "Oh, you were offered sous chef. That will be your position, but it'll be for 20 an hour." Still significantly less than what I was thinking. And you may be like, Brandon, Mr. Moneybags over here. All about the moolah, huh? No, it's not all about the moolah. That was an enticing factor to the job. But then when you break down the hours, which were Tuesday through Sunday, 4 to midnight, every day, or, no days off. Wow, Brandon, normal fucking working hours? I don't think you work 4 to midnight. That's like dog shit shift, which is very unfortunate because that's what most restaurant shifts are. I'm very fortunate in my spot now. It's more of a morning gig, but most kitchens aren't. I have gotten a little used to the morning gig. The pay's not awesome, but I have my day to fucking jork my jork and play video games and make fucking funny YouTube videos for my homies on the spectrum, out here doing the Lord's work. No, not just that, but not like I'm justifying it per se, but working this job now is probably the most free time I've had in, no joke, 15 years. And so it's been nice to just kind of take a breath and, have fun. And I've found myself being very fortunate to be in this situation, These are great fucking, not even problems, but just choices to have. So, I decided for the pay, for the time, I can't really justify it. I just can't. Because that's what I mean, Tuesday through Sunday, that's during every comedy day. I would not be able to do stand-up no more, which isn't like a make or break, but that sucks. I wouldn't be able to do this nearly as much. So I'd really be putting everything creative and fun on the back burner while I'm scrubbing another kitchen for not what I thought money. It was just too many factors. And also, it wasn't entirely what I thought it was to begin with. I honestly, I don't know if I talked about this last time. I thought I'd be working next door at the more fancier place. But it's whatever. Not like that's a deal breaker either, but it just wasn't entirely what I expected, Yeah, speaking of which, I thought I would take that time, that opportunity, after the fact. I didn't even elaborate, really. I ended up calling my friend, or past employee person, and I was telling him, respectfully, I'll decline. Hope to keep in touch, but it's a no for me right now. I had to give him a Randy Jackson. I had to give him it's a no from me, dog. But Yeah, that's what I mean. Speaking of which, I thought I would use this opportunity to not double down, but to really appreciate and take in the time and environment and creative what may be here, what creative energy may be here, what fun I may be able to have, what adventures, places to see, friends to meet, whatever may transpire with this YouTube comedy thing, and to really not like take it by the horns and go balls to the wall. But if I'm not going to take a good opportunity to really try to focus all of my efforts, or most of, again, not to be cringe and be like, I'm going 110% on my social media and comedy. But just to, be like, okay, I am in this position where I'm just going to be like, fuck it, I'm doing this, for better or for worse. So I'm grinding. I've been not only grinding on, like I said, dumb stuff, or not dumb stuff. Take that back, Brandon. I mean, in retrospect, not just focus on computer screen things. That's what I mean. I don't mean me dumb stuff. I mean, like, in my head, you can only play too many video games. You can only watch too many TikToks. You can only watch too many movies. Because if it involves a screen, it's just kind of a noise after a while, It's like a big wall of text. You got to step back or step closer to get the full story. But if that's all you're seeing, it just all becomes noise. So, trying to also not like step back from screens, but get in tune with myself a little bit more, meditate a little bit more, read a little bit more, get in touch with not only myself, but kind of bringing it back a little bit to not like the past me, but going back to what were some of my original goals and aspirations when I was kind of first starting to develop as a young man, and kind of going back to that, because I feel like, not like to be nostalgic, but just to kind of go back to what I thought was pure at the time, and just get kind of back on track, or not even back on track, but just kind of keep a different perspective, or keep an old perspective in light of what I'm going through now. No, I keep backpedaling. Not like I'm going through anything. I'm just saying, I've been reading, just been trying to keep my mind busy. Been reading a great book. I don't know if I've ever talked about it. What's this dude's name? Nathan McCall. Yeah, great author. Not necessary. I only chuckle because at a glance you may be like, Brandon, you're reading this stuff? Yeah, actually, and it's very not only enlightening, it's very informative. Speaking of perspective, it's a whole different perspective, one that I'm not used to. The first book I read a few years ago, Makes Me Want to Holler. Great book. It was more of an autobiography about his early life growing up. It was New York, Pennsylvania. I forget exactly because he kind of moved around a little bit, but it was that north east part of the country, and just kind of described his life growing up, his perspective, his the good, the bad, the ugly, if you will, and how it made him the man that he is today. And I've started reading his in-between book. Not in-between book. I think he's made 3 books. This is the middle one. Or, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm so bad with names. I just be picking stuff up and reading it. I'm not, same with music and anything, or even people names. I'm so bad with names. It is called What's Going On by Nathan McCall, and it is short kind of excerpts and little snippets of just kind of stuff that he's written and compiled into a book. He talks about anything from basketball, culture, rap culture, modern politics. The book's a little bit dated, but he's talking about what's going on, and it's very interesting. And yeah, like I said, it's a black man's perspective, but it's a very, I like to think, or not think, but you can think whatever you want about the guy. He's kind of a polarizing character. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but there's a few things that most people would just flat out dismiss the man for some of the things that he's done and admitted to. But to me, that's what not builds character. But if you can see and admit and find the faults in your wrongs and turn them into a positive, and also inspire and share your story with those around you, I think that's a great beneficial thing for everybody. Because here I am, a honky in Oklahoma, reading this book that came out 40 years ago at this point, or maybe 30. I think it came out in the 90s, 2000s, something like that. Whatever. That's been fun. Let me see. What else is going on? What's going on? Maybe I'll write my own book. A honky's memoirs. Memoirs from a honky. I'd read the fuck out of that. I'm not gonna lie. Oh damn. Oh yeah. Okay, I did a video that I would consider like a sketch, a skit, something. You might have seen it. It did very well at first, kind of stalled out after the initial hype. But we had the Super Bowl. Great time. It was a fun, interesting game. I already forgot who won. I wanted the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl. Didn't happen. That's all right. But the halftime show has been up for discussion for some reason. I only say some reason because I don't care if you're brown and speak a different fucking language. Hot take, apparently. Oh my god, it's funny to that's only people's problem with it. That's it. Anything that's not fucking white and proud, people get up in fucking arms about, and I hate it. It's so annoying. But anyways, I thought, like many of you other honkies, probably watched it with your honky parents and had to sit there for 15 minutes and listen to, what the hell? Why is he flopping his dick around? Whoa, are the bushes moving? What is this? The subtitles are in Spanish. I thought that was kind of fucking funny. You would think they'd put English subtitles, but no. Anyways, I digress. I thought it was a fun time. Not like, I would have never once called myself punk, but I love the punk mentality. And part of the punk mentality, I don't mean what I was exposed to either. Almost like when people mention liberalism, I like let me bring it back. I don't affiliate with any politics because I'm not a political person, and I don't even identify myself on the political spectrum. But old school liberalism is way more enticing than modern liberalism. Where the fuck was I going? Bro, this Alani wipes your brain. What the fuck was I talking about? Something with the Super Bowl and Bad Bunny's fucking cock flopping around. Old school. Bro, I was going somewhere too. Damn. I don't know. Anyways, I made a video about the Super Bowl. I made a video about the halftime show. And I called it White Guy Reacts, or White Guy Watches a Halftime Super Bowl. And the whole joke is that I'm sitting there watching this, like, some would call historic halftime Super Bowl with a proud, prominent Puerto Rican figure speaking the whole fucking thing and not a lick of English. Again, yeah. That shit's punk, dude. I was trying to bring it back. Not punk these days. Old school punk, bro. I wouldn't say I'm punk, but I like punk shit. And punk shit is just whatever the fuck's different. I don't care what the fuck you're doing. He could go up there, and even some Spanish people were like, I couldn't understand him. I don't give a fuck, bro. Cool. My whole joke with making the video was you can sit there and watch, again, something very cool, something very radical, something very, I can't find the right word, just very fun and awesome. And you can just sit there and go, what did he say? Turn on that Kid Rock halftime show. That's what I need to watch. What would old Donald Boy be saying about this? They should be ashamed of themselves putting this brown boy on the Super Bowl. My whole joke of the video was just like, and I even say at the end, or I think the few words I say in the video are, what the hell did he say? I didn't understand any of that. And if you, again, I know it's a stupid fucking nothing YouTube video, but if you break it down, it's almost sad how somebody can watch something like that and genuinely, most of the country can go, I didn't understand or get any of that. It's like, you don't have to speak the language to see the celebration. Oh, fuck, Jenny's here. I'm filming. You got me.
I didn't realize you were filming.
No, it's alright. You can help me finish. Talking about the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl? I don't care about the Super Bowl.
I only smoke Super Bowls.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Alright. Anyways. Jennifer's hungry. I thought she'd be like, don't call me Jennifer. Anyways. I'll wrap it up. I also did a video on Elmer McCurdy. I thought would be a fun local legend video. Because my fucking Mathis Brothers video has been doing so well. I thought I would do another local legend video. I don't know if it was the format that people liked or the fact that the Mathis Brothers video talks about two brothers shoving gerbils in their ass. But I can see the exciting enticement for that video. The Elmer video hasn't picked up as much traction, but I can see promise there. God damn, bro. All these ads on my video, you think they'd pay me? I'm gonna write YouTube. I was watching my own videos, and you guys haven't paid. Oh, this is Super Mega. I didn't even realize this is playing. Well, thank you, Super Mega, for keeping some background noise. I guess my Ratatouille video finished. Is that you coming? Yeah, you can help me finish. We're gonna go to Brahms.
Yo.
Get some num-nums.
Yeah.
Cause it's 1:15. I'm a little drunk and I need you now.
I was hauling back from Norman. Yep.
Jenny had to work in Norman today.
Yep. It was a fun day. Had to learn a new entire system. I fucked it up like halfway throughout the day, but it's fine.
Boring. Talk about Bad Bunny's cock flopping around. Anyways, appreciate y'all listening, watching. Follow me on anything and everything at exx47. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And appreciate you watching. Goodbye.